Hello, I'm Trudy, One Grounded Angel. This is the weekly angel card reading for the week beginning January the 23rd through to the 27th, 2017, Monday to Friday. I do Saturday and Sunday on my social media separately and not part of this video because there's only so much concentration span that we can all have, right? So I try to keep these videos short. I'm now going to contradict that by starting this with a very quick meditation because I think we need it. So please allocate just a couple of, maybe a minute to do this. There's a lot of turmoil and uncertainty and fear in the world right now, and I think the more we can do to try and tap into our own inner peace, the better we'll be. So let's just take a big exhale, letting go of all that tension, and just concentrate on taking a deep, slow breath right into your belly. And then slowly exhaling it bit by bit. And just notice that tension start to fall away. And gradually those thoughts about what am I doing today, what's going on, fall away as well. We'll do it again. And then one more time. I hope that helps you to just settle a bit before we launch into these cards, because I know from feedback that a lot of you are watching this while you're doing other things, which is totally fine. We're all multitasking, but the problem is when our focus is scattered, we can't really take in the messages. So I just wanted you to try and be still before we start. Also to try and separate yourself from everything that's going on out there in terms of that fear and that tension that's going on. So it's important to try and remember that we are being looked after by the universe, even when things seem really, really grim. So let's start with the messages for Monday the 23rd and see what the angels have to tell us. That one. Manifestation. So this speaks to our power to create what we want in our lives. For those of you who don't know what manifesting is, it's really about focusing on what you want and setting an intention around that. So, for example, you might have the intention to create a new business. So you could create a vision board around that, how you want it to look, or just focus your attention on it and really think about. It's really powerful when you attach feelings to your goals. So what does it feel like to be working in this business? How do I feel as I'm going about my tasks? What's around me? What's the sort of energy around that? That really helps. It just makes that energy that you're sending out to the universe more clear in terms of what you want to attract. And it reminds you that you've got the ability. You might not like what's right in front of you right now, but you do have the ability to change that and create something that's better. So the onus is on you. The universe will rush in to support you, but you have to get the ball rolling. So that's why we talk about a lot of spiritual experts. I use the word expert tenuously because no one's really an expert, are we? We're all learning. But a lot of spiritual, I guess, bloggers, for lack of a better word, will talk about co-creating. So yes, it's true. The law of attraction means we can attract what we want in our lives, but it's the universe supporting us that makes that happen. And nothing is given to us on a platter. We have to do the work in terms of setting the goals, putting the energy around that, and taking action steps as well. And the universe responds to action. So really think about what you want to be creating. So I know that, we're well into January right now, and so that whole New Year resolution buzz has died down, which is good because, to be honest, I don't think it's a very good time to be setting goals. You're still on vacation. You might be hungover. You're still kind of in relaxation mode. It's not really a great time to be thinking about what does my life actually look like right now, and is that what I want to continue, or how do I want things to be different this year? So let's make that more of a focus now, and particularly since it's the Chinese New Year this year, things are more conducive, I think, to setting goals. So Tuesday we've got the parents card. Just as a side note, I love the illustration on this. It's so twee. If your parents are in a folk band and they actually play these instruments and sing, then kudos to you. That's pretty cool, but mine certainly don't. But anyway, I love the illustration, but what it's talking about is the impact that our parents have in our lives. If you are holding a grudge against one or perhaps both of your parents, it's time to start thinking about how that's having an impact on your life and what you're going to do about it. Now, it may be that really just sets the tone for how you want to parent your own children. You don't want to repeat the mistakes that they've made. Try to remember that your parents have done the best they could. with the knowledge and the information that they had and the stresses that they had in their lives. There's no such thing as perfect parents, and I don't think I know of a single person who hasn't got a complaint against something that their parents did to them when they were raising them. Some sort of belief they tried to instill in them, or some manner of upbringing, or maybe it was the amount of time they spent with them, or something that some belief they tried to force upon them. We all have variations of the same narrative there, but it's important that we don't hold on to that to the point that we become resentful. I use this example all the time, but being angry at someone is like swallowing poison and expecting the other person to die. Now, I know of a few people who are estranged from their parents because that relationship is just completely broken down. That's totally fine. I'm not saying that you should try and repair something that is beyond repair, but I am saying try to let go of your resentment about the situation. How you move forward is up to you, but you really want to make sure you're not holding on to bitterness. So let's look at Wednesday. Romance angels are helping you. Now, this is not the Romance Angel deck. I do have a very specific card deck dedicated to romance, which I use in personal client readings when someone has a specific question about their love life. I don't use that in my daily readings because I prefer to use the general ones to see what comes up. However, within the general card decks, there are specific cards to specific situations, such as romance. Now, Valentine's Day is coming up. Now, I know if you're in a relationship, you probably haven't given that much thought. I know I haven't. But if you are single, it might be at the back of your mind because, as far as I can make out, Valentine's Day is a day that serves to do much. It serves to do very little other than make companies very rich and to make single people feel really, really crap and lonely, which is absolutely not true. Now, being alone does not make you lonely, so if that's where you're at in your life now, really try and let go of any resentment around that situation. Being single is not an unhealthy situation. There is not something wrong with you, and it doesn't mean that no one wants you. It just means that it's your time to be single right now. Except we have the romance angels. So if you do want to manifest a relationship, this is a good prompt to do that. So there are specific angels that look after specific areas such as romance, career angels, parking angels if you need help finding a car park. When I used to have a car, I used to use them a lot. You have to, just as a PS, a side note, I know I'm off on a tangent. If you do call upon the parking angels, it's best to do it before you leave the house. So they've got time to clear people away in a nice way. So romance angels are helping you. What they want to do is to make sure that you are ready, because it's one thing just to ask the romance angels to help. You can't then just sit back and expect that the perfect person's then going to knock on your door. Oh, here they are, delivered by heaven. Doesn't work like that. As I said earlier, creating anything in your life is a partnership with the universe, so you have to do the work. What are the blocks in your life that have been keeping a relationship at bay? Are you constantly attracting people who are unsuitable? For example, they're already in relationships, they're on the rebound, they're still in love with their ex or something. There's something like that, they just can't invest. If that's the case for you, if someone's not invested, if you keep attracting people who are not invested in you, it means you're probably not invested in yourself. So when you value yourself, you back yourself, and you believe in yourself, you don't attract people with a lower vibration like that. You attract people who are befitting of you, or you attract no one because that isn't the right moment for you to have someone. So think about, what are you attracting right now? So as I say, if you're not attracting anyone, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it means it's just not the right time for you, and that means that something better is coming along. So if you're asking the romance angels for help and no one's showing up, there are 3 possible answers. Yes, not yet, I have something better in mind. And it may be that something better in mind is someone really amazing who's not quite in the right place, who's not quite ready for a relationship yet, or who has some more personal work to do. What personal work do you have to do? Do you need to work on your confidence? Do you need to work on your body issues? You can't go into a relationship wanting someone else to make you feel complete, because you're not going to attract someone who can do that, because it's up to you. It's up to you to make yourself feel complete and whole, and and already lovable. You're already lovable. You don't need someone else to love you in order to feel lovable. No one else can fill that void for you. And when you do have those elements going on, you will attract someone who recognizes that, because that makes you very attractive. So ask the romance angels for help and think about what you can do to work with them. And if it's something to do with a past relationship you've had, perhaps you're still hurting from a past relationship, think about how to get some closure from that and how to sever those ties, because that will block you from attracting new relationships. Now, I realize I've neglected people in relationships. Now, just because you are in a relationship does not mean the romance angels can't still help you. If you ask them, of course. No one can. The angels can never help you unless you ask. So think about what you need from your relationship right now. Is it intimate enough? Are you drifting apart? Are you kind of two ships passing in the night? What do the romance? How can the romance angels help you right now? Can they bring more intimacy in? Can they help you channel a deeper sexual desire? Can they ask them for what it is that you could add to your relationship right now, assuming you've got a solid foundation? What could they add that will help you be closer and be stronger together? Now remember that a healthy relationship is not living in each other's pockets. It's being independent but still depending on each other in a healthy way, okay? So it's not that you need them, it's that you want them. Sorry, I'm just reading the little prayer on here and seeing if there's anything in here they want me to flag. It's the word intimate is sort of being highlighted, but that's what we want in a relationship. We want intimacy, not just physically but emotionally. So if you've got any blocks to that, perhaps there's a conversation you need to have with your partner that you haven't had. Maybe there's something you haven't opened up about that you need to. So really kind of meditate on what can make your relationship stronger, and ask the romance angels to help you with that. So it may be simply that you need to spend more time together, particularly if you've got young children, and ask the romance angels to help you find a way to meet and have some couple time. So perhaps they can find a babysitter for you. You'll be surprised at the ways they can help. So we're looking at Thursday now, and that's the 26th of January. Oh gosh, I'm using that giant deck again. It's always a bit clunky. Oh, here we go. It's never messy, but we always get it's always messy. It's never quite, or sometimes I do shuffle quite neatly and I'm surprised, but we always get the right cards no matter how it happens. So 3 of Ariel. So do what you love. It's about creativity is being strongly emphasized here. These particular cards are very action focused. So they're your motivation, I guess. So it's about working with others, being motivated, going after what you want, but ultimately thinking about what is it that people ask me about life purpose quite a lot in personal readings, and the answer is always the same. You find your life purpose by finding what you're passionate about. So that might be, I always give the example of animals, people who love animals. If it's not realistic for you to go and study to be a vet, can you volunteer in a rescue organisation? Can you foster animals? Can you go and help out, volunteer at some other related organisation? There are all sorts of ways that we can move closer to our life purpose. It doesn't mean a radical career change necessarily. But here they are really putting the emphasis on passion. What are you passionate about? And how can you bring more of that into your life? Particularly if it's creative. Everyone says they're not creative, but everybody absolutely is creative. We're creating things every day. We're creating solutions to problems. We're creating new ways of spending time with our kids and raising them. We're creating new dinners and recipes that we haven't tried before. And okay, obviously we're following a recipe perhaps in that sense, but we're being creative in what we're bringing forward. So there's a lot of different messages here. And as I say, they do talk about working with others, so a collab could be on the cards, but it's very much about looking for your passion and going with that. Being honouring your creativity as well. If there's a creative side project you could get moving on, this is your motivation to do that. So we're now on to Friday the 27th. those cards, that particular deck, the Archangel Power Tarot cards, there's a lot of different messages from them, and so, but they're always action based. So when I kind of bring through the messages, there's a lot of different things, but you will always take the meaning that's right for you, because you know what you need, and your intuition will certainly be prompting you on that front. And if you're watching this video, your intuition has already guided you to be here, so you know what's right for you. And you know how to listen to your intuition, although obviously we all struggle with it sometimes. Sometimes we can mistake the voice of our intuition for the voice of fear, particularly fear of change. That's a really difficult thing. But remember, you can always ask the angels for a sign if you're not quite sure that you're receiving a message correctly. So Friday, oh, here we go. This deck just doesn't want to shuffle. I thought they were giving me a card then, but it didn't want to jump out, so that's a no. So here we go, Friday, don't compromise. Very, very simple message here. Stand your ground. Now, it is not mean or unkind to stand up for what you believe in. It is not being mean to someone else to set boundaries. You can do it in a kind way that isn't mean, or isn't calling someone names or attacking them. It's just saying, I'm not willing to compromise on this. These are my boundaries, and I am asserting them, and this is a no for me. So we have to, it's about deal breakers, and very much about don't let yourself get swept away by what other people want and what other people think is right. You must stand up for what is right for you. For some of you, it's going to be a very specific situation that relates to. For others, it's just about generally not being a doormat. It's really important that you stand in your own power and stand up for what you believe in. You might think that comes at a cost, but it doesn't. It might make you lose people, but lose friends from your life. But honestly, those people probably aren't worth having if they don't respect your right to stand your ground and to stand up for what you believe in. So we're looking back at the week. I would say the theme we've really got here is about manifesting and creating what you want, because we've got that in terms of your love life, and also in terms of your life purpose of, what are you passionate about? What can you bring to your life that will give you more meaning and a sense of purpose? That's what we're all looking for. We all say we're looking for happiness. You can't have happiness all the time. It's just not sustainable, because life is supposed to be full of times of varying emotions, including sadness, and yes, happiness as well, but not all the time. You can't be happy all the time. Instead of happiness, we can look for contentment, but ultimately what's the best thing for us in terms of our emotional health is looking for a sense of purpose. That gives us meaning, so that when things are tough, we still feel like we are contributing to the world in some meaningful way. We still feel like we matter. We still feel like we stand for something, that our life has some meaning to it. And that gives us like an anchor point to withstand and be resilient in the face of challenges. So, and that speaks very much to this don't compromise card that we've got in here as well. So I will put these on my social media each day and give more detail there as well. You might find you get the cards now, but each day some new situation will have arisen that makes the card take on a different meaning. That can happen. And you might find also that someone else in your life needs a message as well, and you need to kind of be a messenger in that way, in a kind, non-preachy way, obviously. Now, please contact me if you have any questions. My email address is on my website, www.onegroundedangel.com. My Instagram account is @onegroundedangel. One is spelled out, not the number one, but O-N-E, Grounded Angel. And my Facebook page is also called One Grounded Angel. Thank you so much for all your love and support. I'm sending it right back to you. Have a terrific week, and I will do another reading for you next week. Take care of yourselves and each other.